Hello everyone and welcome to another Top 5 Records video. Today I'm going to be comparing the Yes album because this year in 2024 we saw this, the 45 RPM audiophile remastered edition by Analogue Productions for the Atlantic 75 series. And that is a series to celebrate the 75th anniversary of Atlantic Records, and the owner of Analogue Productions, Chad Kassem, hand-picked a large amount of records which he gave the audiophile treat for a release. Now, what am I going to be comparing this record with? Well, amongst music fans, there is some discussion about what is the best sounding version. At least there was, well, there still is, but at least the biggest discussion before 45 RPM was this one. The first US pressing done by mastering engineer George Piros, and the first UK Red Plum. So which is the best sounding version? Now I'm gonna kick off with the version that I first bought and the version I got to know the record with. That is this one, the UK Red Plum. Taking a look at this gatefold. Always nice to show you the Red Plum label. And honestly, just listening to this pressing, this being the first one I got, there was very little need to look further for me, because this UK Red Plum, it sounds stunning. It is beautiful clear. It's well defined. The high frequencies of the drums are just fantastic. It is spectacular. It has great punch. The definition of the organ here is just stunning. The bass is nice. It is definitely present, not very thick or heavy, but it's good audible. It does its job. The guitar has brilliant definition and clarity. This is a stunning pressing. Actually, if I would not be doing a YouTube channel, I would not look further than this one. But because I am doing a YouTube channel, and I saw a lot of comments of people online telling me to find the George Piros version. Now this year I actually also found a George Piros version in a heavy. I mean, the cardboard here is really hurt, but it doesn't matter for this record because the vinyl itself is in a good condition. I'll show you the gatefold, but it's the same. Nice thick cardboard though. So, is this George Piros version better than the first UK? Well, there are some interesting differences. The bass is definitely more present here. It has more definition. It is heavier. It is fuller. I'm wondering if it's boosted, but it doesn't sound fake or something like that. It's just the bass really punches here. I like that about this pressing. Yet the overall definition and detail is less than the UK Red Plum. Honestly, the UK Red Plum is a stunning audiophile pressing. I think it would rank among the 100 best sounding records in my collection. It's stunning. Nevertheless, this is good. This is a really good pressing. And I understand that people who originally bought this one are not tempted to go for a UK Red Plum if this is the one you grew up with. Because honestly, this is a really good sounding pressing. It still has a great sounding dynamic. The vocals sound less rough and less edgy than on the Red Plum. Yet I don't think there's a strange that they messed it around, because it has a really good, defined, smooth and warm sound. I actually prefer the sound of the vocals here. The dynamics are great. It's just not as vibrant and sparkling as the UK Red Plum, but a gorgeous pressing. And if you're familiar with the work of George Piros, then you recognize the sound. It's in a full smooth bass. It's in very smooth, warm vocals. They're really enjoyable here. So that is the first US George Piros cut. How does this all compare in the light of the Atlantic 75? Well, the sound of this one, the 45 RPM, is definitely smoother than the first UK Red Plum. It does have more of the sparkling dynamics of the UK Red Plum than the first US does. This sparkles more. It doesn't sparkle all the way though. There's this rough fullness, especially in the high frequencies on the Red Plum, that is a little less present here. This one works mostly in being very well defined. I mean, it's the definition here. And the moment you hear the vocals, it's noticeable. These are definitely the best sounding vocals of the three. You can really hear distinctive voices. It's, as a matter of fact, everything. All these instruments have these very distinctive, clean sound. Overall, this is cleaner, yet it doesn't sparkle as much as the first UK. The instruments are so brilliantly defined. The bass, the presence of the bass guitar here is sort of like a split difference between the UK and the Red Plum. On the UK, it is definitely thinner, less heavy. The first US, it's a lot heavier and very present, very thick. This is split the difference. This is split the difference. So, which pressing is the best? And honestly, I find it hard to give a definitive pressing here, because I just love how I'm blown away by the full, rough, sparkling quality of the first UK. The way these drums get in there, the definition there, it is just blowing my mind. The George Piros, I think that would be the least favorite of mine of these three, but we're talking about three great audiophile copies here. All three are really great. So the George Piros would be a third. Although the voice does sound great, the bass is very present, but the overall amazing quality of what's happening in these higher frequencies, the organs, the guitars, and the hi-hats, of the drums, it's the George Piros doesn't have that for me, yet great pressing. Then it is a tie between the UK Red Plum and the 45 RPM, which is fantastic. The definition here is just incredible. You know what? Different pressings, different ideas. I find it hard to choose a favorite, because this is so beautiful, clean, well defined. But the first UK does have that sparkle, that punch, that eye-opening high. Yeah, I think it's really, really tough. This though is very well balanced. I'm not gonna pick a favorite. It's up to you. Anyway, if you find an Atlantic 75 or a first UK, you're pretty lucky. So that's my conclusion. What do you think? What would you choose? I'm very curious. Leave a comment below and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.